Hello guys, Dan here, welcome back to the channel. In today's super short video we'll be painting some model from the Infinity Nomad army, so it will be a Hellcats. I have to say this model really looks awesome. So we will use some simple techniques, a lot of contrast paints, and at the end I will show you how to use a little pigments to get some green like dust on the legs. So sit back, relax and enjoy the rest of the video. To begin with, I used the Wraithbone color and I spray it with my airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, you can use the same color from the can and just try to get a nice and even coat all around the model. And then we will use our first contrast paint. I used the Black Templar. I will apply this in two very thick coats because I want it to be a lot darker. So wait for the first coat to completely dry before applying the second coat. And use it straight from the pot and make it really thick. But try to keep the control in your brush so you don't go all over on the places that we still need to paint. At the end it should look like this. So I did this a little slower and I will show you everything, so you can pause here and block the same parts as I did on this model. Next contrast paint that we'll use will be Basilicanum Grey, and we will use this only on this rock that he is landing on. So just apply one thick coat as well on it. I wanted to paint his pants purple, but there is no good purple contrast paint. They have only two of them. I tried both of them and I'm not actually happy with the results. So instead of it, we will go with the traditional method. We will use a Screamer Pink and we will apply one thin coat and try to get a good coverage and just paint all the pants. Since soon we will paint the armor panels, at this moment you can use the Wraithbone and do the cleanup of your model, all the spots that you made little mistakes and that you accidentally painted the armor panels that we want to paint in a different colors. Just take the base color and use it as an eraser. To finish off shading the pants, I will use a dark tone and just apply one quick wash around it. If you don't have a dark tone, you can use the Noon Oil or even Agrexer shade just to get a nice darker tone of this color. For the red armor panels, I will use a contrast Flash Tearers Red. And I will apply this color straight from the pot in one very thick coat. So try to be neat as much as possible here and go around all the panels that we want to block red. If needed, at this part you can use a Wraithbone to do another cleanup, because the next step will be use Apothecary white contrast, and we will paint the remaining white panels of the model. So this will be done as well in one thick coat, and try to be neat not to go on the black parts because this is a really bluish color. and then it will create some blue stains on your black armor panels, and we don't want that. And last contrast paint for today will be Militarum Green. I will use this color only on the rock down, and I will just paint it like in little patches, just to create some natural color to the rock. Because in nature the rocks are not like gray, they have all the different colors on them, but in this case we will use only two colors because we don't wanna overdo it. Now it's time to start highlighting our model. I will start from the red. I pick up as my highlight color to be Evil Sun Scarlet. It's a little brighter red, and I will apply this in one very thin coat. So I will go around all armor panels I did before, but I will cover only 95% of them, and I will still leave all the recesses intact and all the shades intact. So I will just paint the flat parts of the panels that are most raised and most exposed to the light. And the final highlight will be done with the Fire Dragon Bright. I will paint this as an edge highlight. So I will apply this color with the side of my brush or with the tip at some points, and I will just draw very thin lines against every single sharp edge that this model have on the red panels. So just go around, have patience, and draw these nice thin lines, and it will really pop up the red color. We will apply the similar method for the pants. So first I will go back to the Screamer Pink, and I will just reinforce the most raised areas of the pants and the folds with this color, because they become too much dark from the wash. So I just want to return them to the original Screamer Pink tone. But leave all the recesses and leave all the shades like they are now, like very dark, because you want them to stay in the shadows. And there will be as well only one highlight on the pants. I will use a pink horror for this one, and you will only highlight like the little edges, little folds that are on the pants. And then on his knee pads you will only do edge highlights, so just the little thin lines. After these two highlights, our model already start taking some nice shape. So we will now proceed to highlight the white armor panels. I will use Ulthuan Grey, and I will apply couple of thin coats because this color is quite transparent, so you will need at least 2, maybe 3 thin coats on some parts, and try to cover 95% of these panels with this color, because most of these panels is flat, so you will only leave recesses darker and the places when these armor panels are meeting each other, so you will leave a little shade there, but mostly you will cover them with the Ulthuan Grey. Our final highlight will be done with the white scar. I'm not sure how is this visible on the camera because of the white balance, but in the real life you can really see the difference between the lines. So just use it as an edge highlight and go around the white armor panels and highlight every single sharp edge. After we finish with the white parts, I will use a Templar blue just to mark these lightings that he have on his armors. Try to be as neat as possible here, but even if you go little on the sides while you painting with this color, it will create the effect of the glowing light, so don't stress too much about it, it will still look nice. And as a final touch, I will add a few little dots of the Ulthuan Grey just to create a reflection. I left the final highlight for the end because this is actually the most important highlight that we really tie our miniature together and make it really pop on the table. So we will use Administratum Grey and go around the model against every single sharp edge. So wherever you see a sharp edge, draw a little line. Use the side of the brush where you can, where it's not possible, just take a tip of the brush and draw a little line. This is really time consuming because let's say 80% of this model is black, but be patient, and the better you do this, your model will look really great on the table. So just take a deep breath, play something on YouTube, some podcast or something, and just go around and slowly and mark all those lines. So we are getting close to the end. So this is how my model looks after all those gray highlights. And now I will focus a little on the base. I will first use Terminatus Stone and I will just lightly dry brush the whole surface of this rock that he's landing on. Try to be neat and avoid going on his legs. Then I will use the Ryza Rust and dry brush this old broken pipe that's there on the rock. As well, try just to be on that pipe, not to go all around. And the last thing that we'll use, I will show you how I use some green pigments. So this is the chrome oxidizer pigment from Vallejo. They're like a dry powder. So just take it on your brush and just apply it with some old brush just to create some dusting effect, like from the landing that his feet actually picked up from the ground from the impact. And that's it. I will transfer him to the base. I made some really simple base, like with some texture paint. I slapped some gray and the green color on it and put a couple of green tufts and used a little of these pigments as well on the base. And the final result is like this. It's a very simple paint job. I try to use very little paints and very simple techniques so that everyone is able to paint it like this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, it will help me a lot. And if you have any comments and suggestions, please free to make a comment below. And until next Infinity video, please stay safe, take care, and goodbye.